moment I started to ask him some tough questions, I got a bit of a telling off, a bit of a finger wag. But he did say something extraordinary. He said, the fundamental policy of South Africa is privatization. Now, he hasn't said that before, and it is. And that's the worst policy, whatever you think of privatization, for a country that has so many people unemployed, so many people with aspirations and expectations that went nowhere after democracy. So many people needing a community-based and state-based help in their lives. That was an extraordinary thing to say. So when the film, he said that in the film, and the reaction divided almost racially, of course. The black South Africans thought it was a great film, and white South Africans didn't. It was quite interesting because all the newspapers were basically white control, all the major newspapers. So they said they didn't like the film in print. But as I say, that's a view that is no longer controversial in South Africa.
Maybe we can talk about when you returned to Vietnam in 1995, 30 years after you first covered the war, 20 years after it ended. You there found a country controlled by Western institutions such as the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund, and a free market based on exploited labour. I mean, did you feel that although the United States had lost the war militarily, it ended up winning it economically?
No, I don't think so. I think that it looked, at that time, in '95, it looked like Vietnam was tearing up all the things that basically they'd fought for, and it was to be themselves, to have free education and a health service, and not to go back to the dark days of the colonial period under the French. Since that film was made, I think it's quite interesting. Although it's basically a totalitarian state without democracy, but from the grassroots, the Vietnamese, being the Vietnamese, have formed what I would call a kind of economic resistance to this, and have objected collectively to the rapacious behaviour of huge Korean companies and Singaporean companies and Western companies